Hi everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna. And today we're going to continue our series on sweater cards. And as we've been doing all week, we're making female sweater cards. And today we're going to make this cute little sweater. And let me just backtrack and show you the ones we've made so far. We made this one on Monday. We made this one on Tuesday, and we made this one on Wednesday. And I had mentioned that the Stampin' Up! Does have a great embossing folder called the Cable Knit Embossing Folder, and it makes a great cardigan sweater card. And I did have a couple of those that I made last year. And I wanted to challenge myself to make cards not using that, because there are so many other ways to make beautiful cards. This is one I made last year using that folder. Here's another one, and another one. Although it's really easy and you get that great comfy cozy look, I did want to show you different ways that you could make them without that. So this is the one we're going to make today, and it's really very easy. What we need for supplies excuse me, is a piece of crumb cake cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, a piece of designer series paper, 4 1/4 by 5.5, and a coordinating little strip of designer series paper. This one is cut. Where'd it go? This is it. This is cut at 1.5. Oh, didn't trim it. 1.5 by 4 1/4. And we need a little scrap of white, Whisper White. And we need some punches. We have a 2 and a 2.5 inch punch and a corner rounder. And then I also have a tool from Blast from the Past, my crimper. I love this crimper. Didn't really use it much when it was big, but now that no one uses it, no one even carries them anymore, I seem to use mine all the time. And then we also need a little strip of crumb cake, and this is cut at 1/2 inch, and it's a little longer. It's probably about 5.5 inches, but I'm not going to cut that to size yet because I want to run it through the crimper first. So the first thing we're going to do for our card is we're going to make our neckline. Now this is 4 1/4. So half of 4 1/4 is 2 1/8. So I'm going to make a little tick mark here at 2 1/8. And I know that is center. Then I'm going to come in with my 2 inch punch. I'm going to put this so that the tick mark is in the center of the circle, but I don't want a full circle. I only want, I'm going to see, this is probably about 1/3 of the way. I'm going to punch that. And there's my neckline. Now I'm going to put this back in, line that punched space up, and punch again. And now I have a neckline that matches perfectly. So that is our base card. Now we're going to work on the cardigan. This is the front of the cardigan, and this is the piece that shows up when you fold the collar over. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our pieces over. And on the back of the little strip, you want to apply some snail. Now it's important that you apply the snail on all of it, because you are going to be slicing this in half, and you want the whole piece to be adhered. Okay? So we're going to take this piece here, and we're going to attach it. Line it up and attach it to the back side of our card front. Okay? Now, we're going to bring in our paper trimmer, and we're going to line this up at 2 1/8, and then we're going to come down 1.5 inches. Now see, these, we do have lines here so you can see them. And it does show up nicely here. But if you were having a problem and couldn't see that, all you have to do is slip a piece of white paper under there. And then all of the numbers show up. So again, we're going to line it up at 2 1/8. And we're going to slice down to 1 1/2. Okay. And now we're going to bend our collar down. Use my bone folder and give that a nice crease. Now if you see that you have a little overlap, see the pink is showing through, just take your snips and trim that off. And there's a little showing on this side as well. We're going to put that down with dimensional, so that's not a problem. I'm going to come in with my 1/4 rounder. This is the one that was part of the Project Life products. It's been retired, but any corner rounder will do. I'm going to round those corners. Okay. Now I'm going to attach this to my card base. See how that's going? So I'll bring in my snail. And I want to try to get my adhesive as close to the edge as possible. Oh, I'm off camera. I'm sorry. I'll line this up. And there's that. I'm going to bring in my dimensionals for my flaps. I'm going to just put one underneath each flap. This one over here. And there's that. Oh, would help if I take the backing off. All right, and there we go. Now we need to work on that trim on our shirt. So we're going to take our piece of Whisper White and we're going to lay that behind our collar punch out, and we're going to make a pencil mark. And with a 2-inch punch, we're going to come in, line that pencil mark up, and punch. Now we're going to use the 2.5-inch punch, and we're going to slip this back in there, and slip this back in there. We're going to even it up on all sides, and we're going to punch. And that becomes the trim of our sweater. So I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm going to use my glue pen here. A little bit of glue. And then I'm going to attach that right there. And that fits perfectly. Grab my adhesive remover. Got some adhesive on my collar. Okay, so there we go. We're coming along. Now we need to, oh actually we need 2 pieces, 2 little strips of crumb cake. Hold on 1 second, let me just grab another one. Okay, here is my other piece of crumb cake. And with a little bit, again, I'm cutting it long. It's 1 inch wide, but, excuse me, 1/2 inch wide, but longer than I need it. And I'm going to trim that after I attach it. I'm going to come in and butt this right up over there. Straighten it up. And then trim. Now I'm going to take the other little piece of crumb cake, and I'm going to put that through my crimper. Here's my end result. It's a nice little band. I'm going to put some snail down, and then I'm going to lay that flat and press. And then I'm going to turn it over and trim the sides off of it. Okay. And if there is any overhang down here, I'm just going to come in with my snips. I could probably run it through my guillotine. But I'm just going to trim that off. And there's our sweater. And as I'm sitting here looking at it, I think I'm going to add some buttons to it. So I have these buttons here. These are, let's see, what are they? They are designer, very vintage buttons. They're not quite white, but I think that's okay. It picks up on the little flowers. And the way I'm going to put those on, I have some embroidery floss, because I'm a cross stitcher as well. And I'm going to thread my button. Tie a knot on the back. It's thin enough that you can do a knot rather than if you were to use thick baker's twine, that wouldn't work. It would be too bulky. So I'm going to cut this. I think I'm going to take two little mini dimensionals and put one on either side, because it's raised in the middle, so I don't want it to wobble back and forth. So that's why I'm going to put the mini dimensionals on the side. And I'm going to put another one on the top here. Okay, I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of my buttons so you don't have to watch me struggle with threading it. I'll be right back. Okay, all threaded and done. So this one has the buttons and this one doesn't. I definitely like it better with the buttons, so I'll go back and put some buttons on my original one. But there we go, and I think that's really cute. I like it. I like the contrasting papers. It gives the sweater a little modern look. And I hope you'll give that a try. If you have any questions about this project or any of the products I used, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And I will add that this paper is from last year's Occasions catalog from a stack called Love Blossoms. It is a retired stack, but I have so much paper that I really do need to start using it. So you will be seeing me using some retired DSP, and I don't think there's anything at all wrong with that, because we all have some in our stash, right? So anyway, there we have it, and I hope you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last day of women's sweaters, and next week I will start a series of men's sweaters, and I hope you'll join me. Thanks so much, and have a great day.